Good morning, everyone. My name is Linda Lloyd, and I'm the presiding officer assigned by the board to conduct this portion of the Category 1 license renewal hearing for Chester Downs and Marina LLC, doing business as Harrah's, Philadelphia. And before we begin, if we could all turn to off or vibrate our cell phones and all those other electronic devices. I call this hearing to order. The date is Wednesday, June 30th, 2001, and the time is 10:30, and the location is the Chester City Hall at 1 East 4th Street in Chester, PA. The Pennsylvania Racehorse Development and Gaming Act requires at Section 1326 that an operator's license shall be subject to renewal by the board every 5 years, and this license renewal hearing is convened by the board pursuant to the mandate found in Section 1205B of the Gaming Act, which requires that the board conduct a public input hearing for any license renewal application. This public input hearing was advertised on the board's website, announced by the board at board meetings, and advertised in local newspapers. Board members present for the hearing today are, to my immediate right, Commissioner Mustio, and to his right, Commissioner Dermody, and to my left, Commissioner Smiler. The hearing will begin with a presentation by Harrah's, Philadelphia. An Office of Enforcement counsel will have an opportunity to cross-examine witnesses at the end, and board members certainly have the opportunity to ask questions. After Harrah's has made its presentation, the Office of Enforcement counsel has a presentation, and again, counsel for Harrah's will have the opportunity to cross-examine any OEC witness, and the board will have opportunity to ask questions. At the close of testimony and evidence from both parties, those individuals who have registered to speak today at the hearing during the public comment period will be heard as their name is called, and each speaker will have 5 minutes to provide their thoughts on the renewal application. At the close of the public comment, Harrah's and OEC will have the opportunity to provide a closing statement if they desire. All witnesses are reminded to speak loudly and clearly so that we can all hear what you have to say, and our court reporter down here on the end can hear you as well. And as Mr. Harrah said, we are live streaming this proceeding through the board's website, and it will be up for everyone's viewing pleasure in the future if you want to go back and look at it again. So let us have all an Office of Enforcement counsel who will testify during the presentation part of our hearing today. If you could stand to raise your right hand to be sworn by the court reporter.
Everyone, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
I do.
And I will remind you, when you speak for the first time, if you could state and spell your name for the court reporter. She does have a list, but it would be nice if she had the spelling, your name and spelling on the record as well. So Harris, take it away.
Thank you, Director Lloyd. Can I ask, are other commissioners on live stream or
No.
conference?
This is
very good.
those participating today. The entire record will be made available to the full board for their consideration.
Very good. So, good morning, everyone. Good morning, commissioners. My name is Stephen Schreier. If it's okay, maybe I'll just take my mask off while I'm speaking. I am an attorney with Blank Rome. My name is spelled S-C-H-R-I-E-R. And we represent Chester Downs and Marina LLC, which does business, as you know, as Harrah's, Philadelphia. We're pleased to be here in the city where we operate, in the city of Chester, in City Hall with you in a live setting for the first time in a very long time. It's a pleasure to appear in front of you in that capacity. As Director Lloyd indicated, we're here for the public hearing, the public input hearing on the renewal of the slot machine license for Harrah's, Philadelphia, as mandated by the Gaming Act. I'd like to introduce the key persons who are here with us today from Harrah's, Philadelphia, and some of them have been sworn already, but to my right is Chris Albrecht. Chris is the Senior Vice President and the General Manager of Harrah's, Philadelphia, and behind him is Patty Kane. She is the Vice President of Human Resources, and back there, if you could just raise your hand, is Marianne Oronzio. She's a cage and credit manager. And Lawrence Moore, who is the security and risk manager. Also with us today from Caesars is Bessie Sacco, who's the Vice President of Legal and Regulatory Affairs for Caesars Entertainment, and Joseph Terrell, who is the Regional Vice President of Government Relations. And with me today from Blank Rome is my colleague, Gregory Bailey. As you know, it's the burden of every slot licensee to prove that it meets the criteria on its renewal to continue to sustain and hold and maintain its slot machine license. Harrah's holds a Category 1 slot machine license, and to this date has complied with all of its obligations and updates and filings in order for its license to be renewed. Today's hearing is an important step in that license renewal process. So for now, I would like to introduce Mr. Albrecht again and ask that he explain to you the property, its accomplishments, and the basis of some of the facts of why its license should be renewed. Chris?
Thanks, Steve. That's Chris Albrecht, A-L-B-R-E-C-H-T. I am General Manager for Harrah's Philadelphia, and thank you for the opportunity to speak in front of you today. We are coming up this year on being able to celebrate our 15-year anniversary here in Chester, first as a racetrack, coming up on September 10th, and then January 22nd of next year will be our 15-year as a casino license holder here in Chester. And again, appreciate the opportunity to speak to you on behalf of our team. We also have other members of our executive team in the audience today, as well as many of our partners in the community that will also have the opportunity to speak on our behalf later today. So just a quick history of our location here in Chester. This is the old Sun Shipping campus shipping yard. We're right on the water. Racetrack and casino, again, both built almost 15 years ago. You get a sense of the rich history in the city that we were able to put our facility on, and have enjoyed again a successful partnership here in Chester over the last 15 years, and again continue to look for ways to contribute to our local community. That is about 64 acres of a brownfield site that we did build on that shipping yard. It's a multi-level facility. Our racing level takes up most of the second floor, where we have live racing and simulcasting going on, and then our main casino floor on the third floor. So just over 200,000 square feet of space that we use. That also includes banquet space, our restaurants, and again, everything for the casino and for the racetrack is encompassed on there. Spent almost $500 million over the 15 years, both building the facility and making improvements over time that we'll talk a little bit about today. We've been able in that time to generate over $4 billion in gross gaming revenue. We've been able to bring about 42 million visitors to our facility. So a lot of folks coming down to Chester to visit us and enjoy the area. And that's translated to over 2.3 billion in taxes and fees to the state, to the Commonwealth from our facility being here. So we've definitely had a bit of evolution over time with our gaming facility. So just recently, about 2 weeks ago, we were approved to have our slot footprint become 1,700 slots. And as we stated at that hearing, we believe this really sets our property up for the right kind of offering for our guests now, creating more spacing on our floor. It's a lot, as I explained at that hearing, that we've learned over the last several years in terms of building a better experience for our guests, and we think that's more than enough units to satisfy the demand we now have at Harrah's Philadelphia. Still have great 71 table games throughout the facility. We've also implemented some of the newer technologies like electronic table games, both the fully automated variety and the dealer assisted, and we're in the process of getting some more of those as well. In January of 2019, along with many of the other casinos in Pennsylvania, we added sports betting. And we added our sports book at that time, and that's actually been rebranded since then to a William Hill sports book. And we're in the process of actually relaunching that again now that William Hill has come under the Caesars umbrella. So a lot of excitement in our company overall, and here in both Chester and Pennsylvania overall for the growth of the sports betting market. And live racing and our simulcast business, which I'll talk a bit more in detail, but that's been a very strong part of our operation since the beginning, and in the last year has grown even more so. Our food and beverage offering, we continue to try different things and have kind of come up with a footprint that we think works wonderful for our guests. Philly Tap and Tavern, which I'll talk a little bit more about later, is actually a concept we had several years ago and has come back since this January in a very strong way for our customers. The Market is our quick service offering where you can get sandwiches, salads, pizzas, all made for you right there, hot and fresh, and very excited that came in 2017. Mien is our noodle bar offering that serves mainly a very specific part of our customer base, and that is the Asian American community around Philadelphia that we're able to draw to our business here. And then on our racing level, we have a couple of offerings, Philly Steak Shack being the main one, but they also have a Krispy Kreme donut there, and they're in the process of adding a third offering to our food court there called Kickin' Chicken to kind of pick up on the chicken sandwich craze and all fun stuff like that. So a variety of offerings for both our racing and our casino customers at Harrah's Philadelphia. And with Harrah's coming to this market, you also brought a very large organization in Caesars Entertainment, one that has grown in size over time and as of last summer became the largest gaming company in the United States with the merger of El Dorado and Caesars. And so with that, our customers that come to play with us here at Harrah's Philadelphia not only get the access to all the great things that we offer here in Chester, but also things throughout our entire network within Caesars, which include locations such as Las Vegas, California, Reno and Lake Tahoe, New Orleans, Chicago area, and most locally here, Atlantic City. And what that means is our customers, when they come and play with us at Harrah's Philadelphia, they earn reward credits through our program, and they can take those credits and use them in all those wonderful, great locations. So it's a big attraction for us to be able to offer not only great amenities for our guests here, but as we invest in our product across the country, that has customers really excited to come visit us here in Harrah's Philadelphia and to earn through our wonderful Caesars Reward program. With Caesars, you also get the foundation of our code of commitment. It's been a foundation of our company for over 30 years, and when we came to Pennsylvania, and as we've gone into other markets, we brought that with us. And with that code of commitment comes our responsible gaming initiatives, and really we were first to market in a lot of ways on the responsible gaming front, and that comes with self-restrictions, that comes with 21 and under, 21 and over, making sure customers are 21 and over, and it also speaks to our focus on making sure that we do not leave unattended minors. All that rolls into the umbrella of our code of commitment and our responsible gaming. And again, we were the first to broadcast ads around responsible gaming, and we take it a step further when it comes to self-restriction. So while in Pennsylvania, we have to look at restrictions within the state, and when someone gets banned at a property within Pennsylvania, we obviously add them to the Pennsylvania ban. But within our company, Caesars also restricts folks throughout the entire country, and those go into our database as well, and we'll restrict them here on our property as well. So we take it, again, a bit further, being a part of a large company like Caesars Entertainment. So as I mentioned, we built our property up and opened almost 15 years ago, but we continue to look to refresh and refine the offering that we offer to our guests. We recarpeted our floor back in 2017, spending over $1 million to do that. We purchased all new slot chairs for both our slot floor and our table floor, and we continue to purchase new slot machines and to lease new games from our vendors on a regular basis, getting over 120 new games in the past 2 years alone. And we are excited to continue to look for new ways through this remodeling we're doing to offer new product to our guests on the gaming floor. As I mentioned, we've changed over our food and beverage offerings a few times over time to adapt to our customers' needs. Philly Tap and Tavern being the most recent example. And again, that's been just a great win with our guests, something that they used to have in the past and something that we were able to bring back in sort of a new and refreshed way that has really spoken to our casino guests that visit us. We've also had some great partnerships with some of the local sports teams. You can see there our center bar through our partnership with the 76ers. We're able to retheme that. And between the sports book in the back and our center bar, just a lot of great opportunities for guests to both watch and place bets on sports. That has really stepped up, obviously, over the last 2 years since we've opened that. We stay committed to offering our guests, again, a world-class gaming experience. We spend a lot of money in marketing to them through a variety of ways. The most open way is what you see in the amount of free slot play we spend to our customers, and that's something that allows the customer to come in with an offer that we give them to start their day with us. We also have a lot of other events and promotions we run throughout the year. As you can see in here, some Some car giveaways are always very, very fun, jackpot drawings, hot seats, and some of the bigger party events you'll see around New Year's Eve and a big party we do in the summertime. So a lot of different ways that we look to get customers to come visit us here in Chester. So as I mentioned, this has really had started with our commitment to harness racing from the very beginning. That's what got us our Category 1 license, and that's what's turning 15 years old here in September. A lot of our tax money goes to the Horse Racing Development Fund and through our other fees as well. We race about 150 live racing days a year. We race on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays for the most part, but we do some specialty days, some night racing throughout the summer as well to attract customers to our facility. We're racing March, April timeframe, and we'll go through December, depending on the weather. Last year we had a very successful Christmas Eve racing day, so we really look forward to finding the right pockets of time for our customers to come visit us. And we do focus a lot on PA sired and owned horses to our racetrack facility. And as I mentioned earlier, really one of the exciting things we've seen since we've come back from some of the closures and challenges of COVID is that horse racing popularity has grown in a tremendous way, and it's really been across the board. We offer obviously the live racing on our site, and that's where folks will bet on our live races, or there'll be a simulcast feed into our racetrack from all across the country, and we'll get some great betting on that. And we saw some record days really in May from that kind of betting. So May 30th is our invitational event that we do each year, and that's where we put a lot around that Memorial Day Sunday to activate our outdoor experience and the betting on our racing. And that was our second best racing day in our entire history, and that was just this May. And a couple weeks before that, May 16th, not quite as big, but we had our 5th best day on that Sunday. So a lot of strength and popularity going on in racing, and that's on our on-track product. And then we also have simulcasting, so we simulcast within our building on the tracks around the country, and we also have a very healthy internet product. And as you can imagine, while our facility was closed last year, that internet product grew tremendously, and that has sustained in a lot of ways since we've come back. So really both the live racing product that we have and the internet business and the simulcast business have really just been seeing some tremendous growth in numbers, and we're very excited to see that continue going as we move forward. And I did just want to touch, since we are, I think, the first casino to present since the COVID period has transpired. It's certainly still wearing masks today, and still not fully out of all that. But I just want to take a moment and to acknowledge sort of the work that the team did here in collaboration with the PGCB, with our corporate office to really put our best foot forward as we've kind of managed through this past year of time. So we closed during I think we were the second casino to close in Pennsylvania back on March 14th. And we were closed through June 26th of last year. That was our first closure period. And then with the rest of the Pennsylvania casinos, we had that second closure period for 3 weeks, December 12th through January 4th. And really during that first closure period, a lot of time, energy, and effort was spent by the team working with our corporate office and working with the PGCB to come up with some strong protocols so that we would be able to open with very good health and safety standards for our team members and our guests when we did reopen that June. And I think we did a very good job of working and collaborating on that as we worked through that time. And then the company really stepped up, I thought, during that period to take care of our team members while we were closed. So we did pay for that first additional couple of weeks. When we closed that first time, we paid our team members for the entire 3 weeks when we were closed the second time. That was inclusive of their wages and tips for the tip positions. And we did pay benefits for our team members all the way through July 31st. So a lot was done to make sure that there was really as minimal disruption as there could be for our team members. We also launched our Caesars Cares program at that time, which allowed team members to donate to a fund that would be distributed. I don't know if that's simple or anything, but we did have our Caesars Care Fund come out that allowed team members to donate, and other folks, so like our entertainers that work with us in Las Vegas, and some of our celebrity chefs all donated into this fund, and then those funds will be distributed out to team members most in need during the COVID time. So a lot done. Again, we also did 2 holiday gifts this year to our team members. So again, I think the company, the property stepped up in a major way during a very challenging time for all of our team members. So just getting into some of the specifics of the economic driving of our operations. So, primarily started out first and foremost on the gaming side with our slot operations, and obviously that's the biggest contributor to the taxes and fees to the Commonwealth. Over $2 billion since our inception on that front. A lot of that also comes here locally to both City of Chester and to Delaware County. We also have our own land lease agreement with both the city and the county, and again, we continue to pay and honor those throughout all these different and challenging times. Table games side, table games came a few years later, 2010, different tax structure, but again, almost $170 million in taxes to the state from our table games operation, and again, that also includes a separate land lease agreement that we have with the city and county on table games. Sports betting, as I mentioned, is still fairly new and fresh. We opened, you can see a couple pictures there again of our sports book in January of 2019, but we do believe there's a lot of upside in this side of our business, our company overall, as I mentioned, in the process of rebranding and relaunching that here over the next few months, and we're very excited to see the impact of sports betting as we continue to move forward. And then also, sort of in its early stages, is our online gaming offering. Again, both sports betting and online gaming, as we know, came out of the Act in 2017, and over the last couple of years have started to really grow here in Pennsylvania, and we're excited again to see a relaunch of our Caesars Online completely with sports betting and with our slot and table product, and we are about to launch our internet poker product here in July. So very excited to have a full complement of gaming offerings on our online side, and as you can see in the tag there, our responsible gaming mantra as a company also goes to our online experience as well. So a lot of different ways that we continue to activate our gaming offering here in the Commonwealth, and that helps contribute again to the taxes overall. So I'm going to hand over here to Patty, our VP of Human Resources, and while I just kind of went over there all the direct ways we impact the community, Patty will really share kind of some of the indirect ways that our team members dedicate their time and money here in the community beyond just the tax dollars we generate, and then she'll go over all the great things we do to hire a very strong and talented team member workforce at Harrah's Philadelphia. Okay?
Hi, thank you for allowing us to meet with you today. I'm Patty Kane, last name C-A-I-N. And as Chris said, I'm here to speak to our team members and the dedication to the community. So we make a difference by supporting a lot of our community partners, several of which are here to speak with us today. We have contributed $1.8 million in charitable contributions since opening, donating to these local community partners through both property donations and also through our Caesars Foundation. Specific grants, we did such things as we built a wing for the Crozier Library, a sign for the Delco Literacy Council, looking into more security and safety in Chester, and supporting the Riverfront Alliance with security cameras, are just some of the things that we help to contribute with our community. Walk to Work program is a program that we work with our team members to also purchase homes in Chester. We also, through our team members, support the local community. It's our HERO program, which is Harrah's Employees Reaching Out. We contributed over 8,400 volunteer hours in 2019, and many of our leadership team and our team members also support these local community organizations. As you can see here, Boys and Girls Club, City Team, the library, United Way, just several of the local organizations that we do support. We also contribute to the local community by purchasing through local. Yes, did I not click? I'm sorry. I went too far. Thank you. Sorry. Through purchasing local and Pennsylvania products. As you can see, we spent 22% of our local business enterprise, supported them 22%, 3.34 million, 825,000 spent in Delaware County. And 22% of the spend was on minority business and women-owned businesses, or 3.47 million. Supporting our local businesses such as the Spring Hill Suites. Several of our suppliers will be speaking on our behalf as well today. Frank McCall's, Hobbs and Company, Health Mats, just to name a few. Our team members are most definitely our most valued asset. They make us who we are today, and they support our guests with the spirit and enthusiasm. They support our local community. Without them, we wouldn't have the impact that we have. Okay, sorry. So the creator of family sustaining jobs, total salaries and wages paid since opening, $477 million. Our average hourly rate works out to be about $18.08, and salary at about $70,000. Total employee taxes and benefits paid are $218 million. Full-time employees are eligible for the comprehensive insurance program. Several benefits that we offer: they get a free meal per shift, 401k match, paid time off, flexible time off, employee assistance program, the tuition reimbursement program, the Caesars Cares program, which Chris had spoke to. We have bonus incentive programs, employee discounts. We do offer free table game training on site, so anyone that doesn't have any table games experience and wants to come on and receive that training, it is free of charge. It's a 6-week program. And then we do pay licensing fees for all license renewals for all of our team members. As we continue to grow, we are also very committed to recruiting locally and onboarding new team members. Throughout the pandemic, we're proud to have been recognized as top place to work in Philadelphia for 5 of the last 6 years. Obviously, the pandemic impacted us for 2020, but we just are committed to ensuring that we are focusing on local hiring. And this helps us, it represents who we are, and that we're committed to a diverse workforce. 62% of our team members are minorities, 40% of our team members are women, 77% of our employees are Pennsylvania residents, and 46% of our employees are Delaware County local residents, and 42% of our employees are union affiliated. And speaking to our unions, the unions that we are affiliated with, we have Unite here, the Local 54, which we're in with our Atlantic City properties. That's mostly food and beverage, EVS, slot, host, stewarding, wardrobe. We also have the Teamsters Union, which is just the warehouse team. The laborers, which are local here to Chester. That's our cage cashiers and our mutual tellers. And then we have the carpenters, which represent our facilities team, and then the IBEW, who represent our slot technicians. We celebrate diversity amongst our team members, not only in our daily hiring of team members, but also in the businesses we support. We've got a local chapter of Savvy, which is for women in business. And with that, I'm going to introduce Marianne Aranzio. We have a couple of our strong leaders that are actually from Chester. Both Marianne and Lawrence will come up to speak, but Marianne comes up first.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Marianne Aranzio. That's O-R-O-N-Z-I-O. I'm a cage credit manager at Harrah, Philadelphia. I started my journey with Harrah a little over 14 years ago in January of 2007 as a frontline cage cashier. I was promoted to cage supervisor in 2009, then to my current management position in 2018. I call my career at Harrah a journey because that is what it is for me personally. A life-changing experience that has shaped me into the manager I am today. When I started back in 2007, I had no previous casino experience and wasn't even sure what a cage cashier was. I just saw an exciting opportunity to work at a company that was in my hometown. Over the past 14 years, I've been extremely fortunate to have had leadership within Harrah's that has seen my potential and had given me the coaching and mentorship that has allowed me to cultivate the career I have today. I was born in Chester. I had spent all of my childhood growing up here. It makes me incredibly proud to be a part of Harrah's Philadelphia and to know how much we give back to the local community. Be it our work with Chester City Team, our donations to the Domestic Abuse Project of Delaware County, or volunteering with CRC Watersheds, it is so fulfilling for me to know that I work for a property that gives so much back to the neighborhoods I grew up in. I look forward to my continued growth within Harrah's Philadelphia. I hope my experience can be repeated 100 times over. I thank you for this opportunity to speak on behalf of Harrah's Philadelphia, and thank you so much for your time.
Good morning, everyone. Morning. My name is Lawrence Moore. I'm Security and Risk Manager for Harrah's Philadelphia. My journey with Harrah started in 2010. I was born and raised actually 2 blocks away from the casino. 2010, I started as a security officer. Had no plans on staying at Harrah's long, to be honest, right? It was a stepping stone towards my career, my journey. But being at Harrah's and the family environment and the way they took time and nourished my leadership skills, I owe it all to Harrah's to where I am today. In 2010, I started a program called Legendary Leadership, which is a program where they take the top supervisors and they train them, and you learn and you go about how to coach your team and how to be a better manager and a supervisor. So 2011, I was given the opportunity to become a supervisor. Between then, 2012, I actually met my wife at the job. Got married to my wife then, 2012. 2014, I became shift manager, I apologize. From 2014 to 2018, I was shift manager as well, or just the manager, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. From 2018 forward, I became the security and risk manager at Harrah's Philadelphia. So throughout the years, we've had many opportunities to help out the community, which in 2014, won the Caesars Award of Excellence for coaching the youth football team in Chester. Currently working on different initiatives to help out with the sports team as well now at Chester High, so look forward to working with the team on that. Also, just a great place to work. I will not change anything about my experience at Harrah's. It's more of a family environment. From my team of 50 officers and supervisors, it's really a team environment, and we start that from day one when employees start a new hire orientation. So thank you. I want to thank you guys for your time, and have a great day.
That concludes our formal presentation. Again, appreciate the opportunity to speak on behalf of Philadelphia, and look forward to taking any questions or comments at this time.
Well, I'll turn to Mr. Armstrong, our Office of Enforcement Counsel. You have any questions for Harrah's?
Yes, Director. James Armstrong and Ashley Gabriel for the Office of Enforcement Counsel. I'll direct my questions to Mr. Schreier or Mr. Albrecht unless someone else is more qualified to testify as to the presentation. Can I draw your attention to slide 4
Yes.
of the presentation, a state-of-the-art gaming experience?
Yes.
Is this description of the number of slots, table games representative of the gaming floor reconfiguration due to the slot reduction request approved by the board last month?
Yes, this will be our footprint that we are in the process of completing now to get to the 700 slots. The 71 table games are already in place.
Can I draw your attention to slide 7, the Caesars Code of Commitment?
Yes.
Did the COVID-19 closures and layoffs in 2020 have any impact on Harrah's ability to meet its initial and annual problem gambling training, including underage gamblers, excluded individuals, and self-excluded patrons?
Yeah, I mean, I think that what we can speak to is that there's been delay, of course.
We were able to complete, but we did give some team members,
I'm sorry.
we gave team members extra time to complete because they had the time off.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, can I draw your attention to slide 8, gaming floor improvements? Does this representation include Harrah's recent gaming floor reconfiguration and slot reduction?
Does which part of it? I apologize.
The representation of, on the right one?
And
Does this include the recent reconfiguration?
Yeah, these are purchases and changes we've made prior to that. So this is making improvements that we've made over the last few years. And now the new 1,700 number we're working towards will incorporate a lot of these new product in new locations. So yes, you may see some of this product move around, but this was some of the stuff we bought
This was prior to the
Correct.
reconfig, okay. And I draw your attention to slide 9. New and rebranded food and beverage offerings. Are all of Harrah's food and beverage facilities now open?
So prior to COVID, we had one other outlet that is not reopened. Everything else has reopened. Our steakhouse has not, and we are contemplating what to do with that space at this time.
Are they providing full service to Harrah's patrons, or are they any COVID-19 restrictions still in place?
There are no longer COVID-19 restrictions on our floor at this time.
And in the restaurants as
The
well?
restaurant's correct.
Let me draw your attention to slide 11, commitment to harness racing. The claim of 70-plus jobs at the racetrack includes vendors. Do you know how many of the 70-plus racetrack jobs are actually Harrah's employees?
So Harrah's employees,
Sir, if you're going to answer the question, can you step up for me
You should be sworn in.
and
Right.
if you have not been sworn, state and spell your name for the record, and she'll swear you in?
Barry Brown, BROWN.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give will be true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
Thank you.
So on the 70-plus jobs, that includes the State Racing Commission employees that are on property. Harrah's employees is about 45.
Barry's our director of racing, by
Yeah,
the way.
I was gonna
Director
say,
of racing operations.
I didn't-
Best equipped to answer that question.
I apologize, I did not introduce Barry earlier, but he's the Director of Racing Operations and is here as well, so welcome, Barry. Thank you for stepping up.
Just have a few more questions. Can we go to slide 12, the racing growth?
Yes.
Is it, this actual racing growth that you're seeing, is it more patrons on site driving the surge in the pari-mutuel revenue, or is it more attributable to the addition of internet wagering?
I mean, the internet wagering obviously is a higher volume number for us, but we are seeing spikes in our on-track wage. As I mentioned, it's really across the board growth we've seen. But yes, the majority of it has come from the internet.
Okay,
simulcast
so it
business.
is that,
Yep.
all right. Can we go to slide 25, continuing to grow our team? All right, your claim that you are committed to recruiting locally, what do you mean by that? Is that the city of Chester, Delaware County? Or the fact that you're in the Delaware Valley, is it the tri-state area? Do you actively recruit from New Jersey and Delaware?
We do actively recruit from the tri-state area. We do try to focus on local communities, working with the local Chester Chamber as well. We haven't been able to conduct any job fairs with them as of late due to COVID restrictions, but we do work very closely with them to look for actual local commitment to recruiting from Chester. We do hold local job fairs at our property as well. We started ramping those back up, and just to ensure that we're getting that local.
Do you hold any job fairs out of state, like in New Jersey or Delaware?
Yeah.
Okay, but do you actively,
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say that to Patty's point, yes, obviously the last year job fairs and things have been different, but prior to that, most of the job fairs we would have either be on site or somewhere in the local community. We've also in the past had strong partnerships with the local colleges, Widener being the biggest example, Delaware County Community College as well. So most of the recruiting we do that's active and on site is done on the Pennsylvania side, but our jobs do go out on different job sites. And yes, people do come work with us from New Jersey and Delaware, but as you can see, we still have 77% are coming from Pennsylvania through the efforts that are focused more on the Pennsylvania side on the recruiting efforts.
Do you actively recruit employees from other Caesars properties, particularly the ones in Atlantic City?
We have an internal transfer program. We do. It's a big part of coming to our company is not only that you come to work with your property, but you have the opportunity throughout just like our customers have those great opportunities, our team members do as well. So we do have a good flow of team members that do start with us in Chester and go elsewhere, but we do have some that come from other markets and work with us, and we have several that do come more closely from Atlantic City.
And
It's
they
probably
would
the
more
most
than likely
prominent.
remain New Jersey residents? Okay. Can I draw your attention to slide 26, who we are? And there's a claim that 77% of the employees are Pennsylvania residents. Under the Gaming Act, Section 13A04, there's a goal that 85% of slot machine licensees, table games employees, to be Pennsylvania residents. Can you tell me that 77%, is that across the board?
It's all team members.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you know what percentage of the table games employees are actually Pennsylvania residents?
Not offhand, but
I don't.
we could get you that stat.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's claims also there on slide 26. 62% of the employees are minorities and 40% are female. Can you tell us what percentages of the executive and management teams are minorities and women?
Yeah, we can get those stats for you. I would say that this is an opportunity for us for sure, that we're definitely not as represented in our leadership level. It's actually a focus of our company overall. Caesars, a couple years ago, started a 50-50 initiative for men and women representation across all leadership levels. And we're obviously very focused on that as well here in Chester. We unfortunately had some turnover at the leadership level that were both for good turnover for female executives that we had. So we'll get you those specific stats, but we definitely know and recognize that that's an opportunity for us to have better representation as we go up into the leadership levels.
And lastly, is there any set policies that you have in place to actively recruit strictly Pennsylvania residents, particularly for table games positions?
No.
No specific tactic on that, no.
I have no further questions, Director.
Mr. Schreier, do you have any follow-up with your witnesses based on?
I don't have any follow-up with the witnesses, but I would like to just have a few closing remarks and put things into evidence, if that's okay. We're at that point where we can do that.
Well, I'll turn to the board members first before we wrap up that. Any board members have questions for Harrah's witnesses? Mr. Mustia? Mr. Dermody? Ms. Smiler?
No, Enforcement Counsel actually asked the question I was going to ask about minorities in the executive level position, so.
Okay,
I have one question.
okay.
Question about you mentioned you do training for table games?
Yes.
Here, on site?
And in our casino, yes.
Yes. And you also say you work with the local community college and wider also, is that right?
We have in the past, yeah, and we no longer use the table games training that we used to have with Delaware County
Okay, I was
Community
wondering, did you have a
Yeah.
program there?
We used to do that, yeah,
Curriculum,
no
okay,
longer.
because it's happening elsewhere, so I was just wondering whether you were.
Yeah, we do a pretty good job now doing it just on site and be able to attract talent. Obviously, like most places, there's been a talent challenge finding over the last year plus, though our last two hiring events have gone well, so it seems that there may be starting a return to the workforce on that front. So, but yeah, we've historically not had problems posting, having these hiring fairs, and then getting folks into our 6-week dealer school. And then there's ongoing training once they get in to learn other games as well. But that really starts you out, that 6-week program.
Very good. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, Mr. Schreier, you like to?
Yes, thank you. So, obviously, given the challenges that we've all had in the last year and a half, I think what this company has done to date and over the last year and a half certainly has been helpful and successful in terms of trying to promote all the kinds of things that the Gaming Act is looking for in a renewal process. I do want to thank the board and the board staff and BIE and Office of Enforcement Counsel and all of you commissioners for all the patience that everybody has had and all of the assistance that has been provided in this whole difficult process over the last 18 months. I think we're at a point now where hopefully everything is going to move forward. So I wanted to make sure that we thank you for all that assistance. You've heard from our witnesses. You've heard from Chris. You've heard from Patty, Lawrence, Mary Ann, and Barry, who I apologize I didn't introduce at the beginning. But I think with that evidence in the record, I would just add that I would like to move in the PowerPoint presentation that we have used today as evidence at this hearing. And also we have provided the board with exhibits 1 through 19, which are letters that were received in support of the property's renewal, which have been submitted to the board, and I would ask that those be admitted into evidence as well. And I understand that Senator Kane has also provided a letter which was not on our list, but I know that Director Lloyd has a copy of that, and I would ask that that also be moved into evidence. So with that, and my thanks, that concludes our portion of the presentation, but we're here to answer any further questions that may come up.
Mr. Armstrong, you have any objection to moving the PowerPoint and the exhibits that were provided by Harrah's?
No
into the
objection.
record? Okay, so with that, we will move to our Office of Enforcement Counsel and their presentation. Again, when you first speak, if you could state and spell your name for the court reporter.
James Armstrong, Senior Enforcement Counsel, Office of the Enforcement Counsel. The last name is Armstrong.
And if you could speak up just a little bit more. It's the microphone is not the problem, but
I
people
understand. Okay.
can hear you. Yeah.
She's 6 feet away. Did you get all that? Okay, thank you. With me here today is also Ashley Gabriel, another attorney in the Office of Enforcement Counsel. Director and Commissioners, our presentation is the 6 exhibits you should have in front of you. Marked for identification is OEC Exhibit 1 through Exhibit 6, as well as will be the testimony of Sergeant Zachary Ryland of the State Police, Michael Wilbur, a supervisor at the Bureau of Casino Compliance, and Jerry Ferrioli, an investigator with the Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement. With the director's permission, can I call my first witness?
Yes.
We would like to call Sergeant Zachary Ryland.
Good day, everyone. And it's Ryland, R-Y-L-A-N-D.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Sergeant Ryland, can you state your name and title for the record?
Yes, it's Sergeant Zachary T. Ryland, Pennsylvania State Police.
And how long have you been employed by the Pennsylvania State Police?
As of June, it would be 15 years.
And what is your current assignment, and how long have you been in that assignment?
My current role is Office Commander of Harrah's Casino for Bureau of Gaming Enforcement, and I've been there since it would have been July of 2019.
Can you briefly describe your current duties?
Yes, so my current duties are basically managing day-to-day activities within our office and the State Police Harrah's Casino, and this includes keeping up working relationships with the employees of Harrah's and the other local law enforcement of the community.
Can you briefly describe the role of the Pennsylvania State Police at Harrah's, Philadelphia Casino, and Racetrack?
So our role overall is basically we're going to investigate any criminal activity, anything through Title 18, Crimes Code, Title 75, Vehicle Violations, Title 4, which is the gaming code. And then we strive additionally with that to keep up a positive working relationship with employees as well as the patrons and the people that come in Harrah's Casino.
What law enforcement agency has primary police jurisdiction over Harrah's, Philadelphia Casino and Racetrack and its parking lot?
So it's split between us and Chester City. So we would hold basically the gaming floor and employee areas outside the gaming floor. And then Chester would deal with anything external, parking lots to garages, and then the mutuals level, the racetrack, where it's outside of gaming-related activity.
Can you briefly describe the working relationship Pennsylvania State Police personnel have with the Chester City Police assigned to cover Harrah's, Philadelphia?
Yes, so I believe we have a good cooperative working relationship with Chester City. We both assist one another when asked or when needed for investigations or information as things come up. But we work well together.
And you briefly describe the working relationship Pennsylvania State Police personnel have with Harrah's, Philadelphia personnel, particularly its security and surveillance personnel.
Yes, so I would say our relationship is one of professionalism and respect. Specifically with the security and surveillance director and myself, we have an open dialogue, open communication, and we work well together and cooperatively as things come up.
And can you briefly describe the working relationship Pennsylvania State Police personnel have with personnel from the board's Bureau of Casino Compliance that are assigned to Harrah's, Philadelphia?
Yes, that's another cooperative working relationship where they're regulatory and we're doing more investigative work. But based on the laws and regulations that we have, we make sure that we work cooperatively and we share information as it comes up.
Okay, moving in a new direction, are you familiar with the Uniform Crime Reporting System?
Yes.
Can you briefly describe what it is?
So essentially, the Uniform Crime Reporting System, it's a program that collects and generates reliable statistics utilizing all law enforcement data. I just want to let everyone know that there's a transition period. The FBI now is looking for us to do what they call NIBRS, which is the National Incident-Based Reporting System, which is a more detailed reporting system from what UCR was. So part of the data we have is UCR, and then as of January 2021, we transitioned to NIBRS.
And which agency compiles the information contained in the Uniform Crime Reporting System?
So for Pennsylvania, essentially each law enforcement agency is required to compile their own data. That data is then put into the system, either UCR or the NIBRS system, depending what they have, and then they are responsible, and that system compiles everything for Pennsylvania.
Is it in an electronic format?
Yes.
Is the Uniform Crime Reporting System available to the public on the Pennsylvania State Police's website?
Yes, you can navigate through our website directly to it, or you can go with their own access, which is www.ucr.pa.gov/PAUCRSpublic/, and that will take you directly to the UCR site where you can, on your own, manipulate through and look at specific data for all Pennsylvania institutions.
And how frequently is the information updated?
So basically, it's updated at the beginning of every month for the month previous.
Is the information contained in the database subject to edit?
Yes.
Under what circumstances?
So as case status has changed, cases are closed, adjudication comes up, we determine new suspect information or accused information, then it would be updated, and then with NIBRS, it's now automatically updated through our record management system.
And what information is contained in the Uniform Crime Reporting System?
So basically, NIBRS and UCR captures details of each single crime. Again, as NIBRS is going to look at every single specific instance within each investigation. So it also includes victim, offender, the relationship between the two, age, sex, race, ethnicity, the victim and offender's information for all of those things. And then you would look at if there's thefts or property damage, it calculates total losses for the losses and recovery of monetary value.
Can the number of offenses reported be reduced if the case is later determined to be unfounded?
So yes, it can be edited.
All right. Before you are the 6 documents which the Office of Enforcement Counsel intends to offer into evidence in this matter. Can you identify for the record OEC Exhibit 1?
Yes, this is the data compiled from NIBRS and UCR system from January of 2015 through May of 2021.
There are criminal offenses that occur at Harrah, Philadelphia, listed in the Uniform Crime Reporting System.
Yes.
How are the offenses that occurred at a licensed Pennsylvania casino entered into the Uniform Crime Reporting System?
Again, there's prior to January 2021, we would have trained personnel in each Pennsylvania State Police location, and they would then be responsible to take that information and add it into the system at the beginning of the month for the month previous. However, now with the transition to NIBRS, as we're moving in, the point of this is to automatically upload that information directly from our records management system into the NIBRS system, and then more of a real-time tracker. And then we do weekly audits of that information to ensure the information we're entering is correct and accurate at each location.
Does the Uniform Crime Reporting System list the number of actual offenses that are prosecuted?
It lists investigated and prosecuted.
What is the most common criminal offense at Harrah, Philadelphia, based on the report?
So based on that report, generally the most common is the counterfeiting and forgery.
Can you give an example of one of the offenses?
Yeah, so the best example would be somebody who would procure counterfeit currency, whether they created it or purchased it, and then would try to either utilize it or attempt to utilize it within the casino. But then it also applies to somebody who may unknowingly have obtained counterfeit currency and then attempted or used it within Harrah's casino.
Do the Pennsylvania State Police have any theories or an explanation as to why Harrah, Philadelphia experiences more incidents of forgery and counterfeiting than other offenses?
So we have no proven theory, but the general idea is based on the large sums of currency that come through these types of institutions, it's just a better target for criminal activity for that specific crime, and just turns out to be more utilized there.
Since 2015, when the highest number of reported incidents of forgery and counterfeiting occurred, has there been a decrease in forgery and counterfeiting incidents at Harrah, Philadelphia?
There has been a decrease.
Is this reduction in forgery and counterfeiting attributable to law enforcement efforts by the Pennsylvania State Police?
I would say it's a joint effort between the state police and then casino personnel.
Okay, moving to a different crime, can you say how many thefts were reported at Harris, Philadelphia by the Pennsylvania State Police in 2020?
In 2020, it was 34.
How about 2019?
2019 was 44,
2018?
90,
17?
76,
16?
87,
15?
118, 118.
And did the number of thefts reported at Harris, Philadelphia from 2015 to 2020 remain somewhat consistent, or did they fluctuate?
I would say the easiest answer is it fluctuates.
Are there a significant number of violent crimes at Harris, Philadelphia?
In my opinion, no.
Are there a significant number of crimes regarding individuals under the age of 21?
In my opinion, no.
Has there been a noticeable increase in any specific crime between February 2015 and the present?
No, I think that's, again, best illustrated by OEC Exhibit 1, page 23. It's our trend report. You'll see it fluctuates. It's all over the place. There's no consistent pattern.
So after reviewing the Uniform Crime Reporting System, the S summary reports for Harris, Philadelphia, do you see a pattern in the type of actual offenses that have occurred at the licensed facility?
I don't see any pattern.
Can you explain for the record the offensive trends comparison reports included in Exhibit 1?
Yes, so this is the overall trends of serious or violent crimes within Harrah's from January 2015 through December of 2020. It's a comparison from each month through each year, and it's more what we call like significant crimes, again, violent and thefts, things of that nature, robberies.
Are the Uniform Crime Reporting System records for reported offenses at Harris, Philadelphia for January 2021 to May 2021 now available?
So it's available, but again, it's not captured as it was in the previous months or years. Once, again, as we're transitioning through this, the NIBRs, it's going to take a little bit till it gets all the kinks figured out, I should say.
And would the records for reported offenses at Harris, Philadelphia for January 2021 to May 2021 be found on the last 5 pages of Exhibit 1?
Yes, but if you notice, if you looked at it, it has all investigations to include minor discrepancies, things that aren't considered crimes, but we would still go and investigate or look into.
Generally, are the Pennsylvania State Police satisfied with the level of cooperation between the staff at Harris, Philadelphia, and the troopers stationed within the facility?
Yeah, we are extremely satisfied with the cooperation and assistance that we receive from all the employees within Harrah's.
And are there any issues or concerns that you think would negatively impact the suitability of Harris, Philadelphia?
None that I can think of this time.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Mr. Schreier, do you have any questions for Mr.
On
Ryland?
behalf of Harris, Philadelphia, I would just like to thank Sergeant Ryland for all of his efforts and his cooperation with the property and the employees of the property. I have no questions. Thank you.
Any board members? Mr. Dermody?
Yes, thank you. I've been a commissioner a very short period of time, but it's become clear in that short period of time that almost all of our casinos have issues or problems with casino customers leaving young children in cars while they're inside a casino gambling. So I was just wondering, you mentioned the security and the relationship you have with the City of Chester Police and the State Police, how you're handling that, what types of patrolling you're doing in the parking lots and the garage, and how that's working out, and how you're addressing that situation.
Yeah, it's been very consistent since I've been within the Bureau that does seem to occur. But basically, the way we handle it is our members will walk the floor and then walk the interior and exterior of the buildings. There's no set routines, no set patrols per se. And then security also has roving detail as they go through the garage. And then once they notify us and Chester at the same time, basically, we then will immediately go, Chester City will come out, and then based on the circumstances, one of the two of us will investigate and handle the incident.
So the security will be patrolling the garage. Do you know how frequently that's done? What type of a basis? How often they're out there and checking the cars?
I don't know the regularity. I know it's consistent. It's all the
Okay.
time. They have a constant rover, what they would call it, that's out there.
And you would intervene before the Chester City could even get here, correct?
Well, so, if Chester was close and they got the call and they were right there, they might beat us because we're coming from, but yes, we don't wait, we go right to the incident, and then from there handle it.
Thank you.
Just as a follow-up, is that even if it's the external where Chester has primary jurisdiction, you would still go to the external site
Yeah, so that's why I say we work cooperatively. If they need us, we just go because we're right there on the scene. And then once we're there amongst the jurisdiction, we discuss who's more appropriate to handle. But yes, we always go to every incident that we're involved.
All right, thank you.
Any further questions?
No, without
Mr.
reading,
Byland?
without reading all these graphs and reports. I may have after I review them all, but not now.
Mr. Mustio? No questions? Okay. If Mr. Armstrong is finished, you're excused.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Thank you.
Director OEC would like now to call Michael Wilbur.
Good morning.
Mr. Wilbur, for the record, please state your full name and spell your last name.
Michael David Wilbur, W-I-L-B-U-R,
And with whom are you employed?
Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board.
And what is your title?
I'm with Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board Casino Compliance Supervisor assigned to Harrah, Philadelphia.
And for how long have you been at that position?
I've been with the Bureau of Casino Compliance as a supervisor at Harrah since August of 2015.
And can you describe for the record what your duties and responsibilities are?
Provide an on-site supervision for the casino compliance representatives and the technical field representative at Harrah, Philadelphia. And with that, we establish liaison and working relationship with law enforcement, casino property management, PCGV staff assigned to Harrah. Participate in surveillances, searches, and seizures when required in order to accomplish investigative needs and maintain security of the gaming facilities. We regulate activities of the gaming of slot machines, table games, sports book, cashier caging areas, count rooms, and voucher redemption kiosks. We investigate patron complaints, unusual suspicious activity on the casino floor, submission of currency transaction reports, suspicious activity reports for Title 31 compliance. We also investigate and enforce state exclusions and self-exclusions, enforce compliance with all PCGB regulations, casino policies, and casino internal controls. I also supervise all record storage and submission of reports.
And can you describe for the role of the Bureau of Casino Compliance at a licensed Pennsylvania casino?
For regulatory review and oversight of Harrah's Philadelphia Casino and Racetrack, all my staff are familiar with the board's regulations and Harrah's Philadelphia internal controls. The BCC staff ensures that all Harrah's Philadelphia staff complies with all the board's regulations and Harrah's Philadelphia Casino and Racetrack's internal controls. BCC staff ensures employees of Harrah's Philadelphia and Casino Racetrack are properly licensed. Our staff conducts real-time 24/7 observations and historical reviews of all Harrah's Philadelphia processes.
And can you describe the type of access the Bureau of Casino Compliance has within Harrah's Philadelphia, for such as the surveillance room
We have full access to the surveillance room 24/7.
and the count room?
Full access, and one of our staff members is either present or observes every table game count.
The central control computer room?
We have full access, and we monitor that room, which is a highly secure room, via surveillance from our office.
And your interaction with the Department of Revenue?
We act as the liaison and assist DOR with facilitation of their duties in Harrah's Racetrack.
And to your knowledge, are there any issues with the connectivity regarding the central control computer system at Harrah's Philadelphia?
None that I'm aware of.
Was there ever a need for emergency access?
Occasionally, there may be an alarm, maintenance issues, repairs, emergency situations to go in.
Does the Bureau of Casino Compliance interact with Harrah's Philadelphia patrons?
Yes, we do.
Did it respond to complaints?
Yes, we investigate all customer complaints, and using our knowledge and resources available to us, we make appropriate decisions.
And does the Bureau of Casino Compliance conduct self-exclusion intakes?
Yes, we do at the facility, and we also conduct intakes for voluntary credit suspension.
Can you describe the relationship between the Bureau of Casino Compliance and the Pennsylvania State Police?
Excellent. We work out of the same office, and we see each other on a daily basis.
Can you describe the relationship between the Bureau of Casino Compliance and Harrah's Philadelphia staff?
Good.
Has Harrah's Philadelphia's staff have been cooperative in compliance reviews conducted by the Bureau of Casino Compliance?
Yes, they provide us with any information or documentation that we need in a timely manner.
Are the regulatory issues at Harrah's Philadelphia comparable to the regulatory issues found at other Pennsylvania casinos?
I'd say, yeah, there's nothing remarkable, any other issues from any other casino. Everything's fairly familiar and same with everything, all the other casinos.
And finally, do you know of any issues or concerns that would negatively impact Harrah's Philadelphia's suitability for continued licensure?
No, I do not.
Okay. Now, on a side note, this isn't part of our preparation for today, but to your knowledge, has there been recent changes in the internal controls at Harrah's in regard to children left in cars in the parking garage in particular?
They've updated a few things, but basically their internal controls that they've had in place for a while has been fairly strict all along. They do constant training with security in particular, and all their employees get training about what to do when they see unattended children.
Do they have 24/7 coverage in the parking areas?
Yes,
Parking
they
garage?
do. There's always at least one security guard that roams the entire parking and garage area 24/7.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions.
Mr. Schreier, any
Nothing further from Mr. Wilbur, thank you.
commissioners, any questions for Mr. Wilbur?
Thank you.
Okay.
The Director of the Office of Enforcement Counsel would like to call Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement Investigator Jerry Ferrielli.
Good morning.
Mr. Ferrielli, for the record, please state and spell your full name.
Jerry Ferriola, F as in Frank, E-R-R-I-O-L-A.
And could you also spell, Jerry is a nickname, can you spell your proper name?
My given name is Gennady, Jennadi.
Thank you. With whom are you employed?
I'm an investigator with the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board, Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement.
And what is your present title?
I'm currently the case agent assigned to the Harrah's Philadelphia Casino.
And for how long you've been employed by the Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement?
I've been employed by the Bureau since October of 2006 and was promoted to case agent in June of 2015.
And what are your responsibilities as an investigator in the Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement?
I conduct financial and background investigations of individuals and/or companies who wish to conduct business with or participate in gaming activities in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I also conduct miscellaneous investigations pertaining to potential regulatory violations at Harrah's Philadelphia.
In your professional capacity, have you been deeply involved in the investigation of Harrah's Philadelphia's renewal application?
Yes, I have.
When did the Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement begin its renewal investigation of Harrah's Philadelphia?
The renewal investigation has been an ongoing process since it was assigned to me on October 2nd of 2019.
And could you describe the scope of the investigation?
After reviewing the Bureau policy for a renewal investigation, I review the applications and send the correspondence to the applicants requesting supporting documentation related to the investigation. This includes extensive financial documentation, family history, military history, criminal and/or civil litigation, and potential bankruptcy and lien information. I also conduct numerous database searches to verify the applicant's credit history, criminal history, education, residence history, travel history, PGCB regulatory enforcement actions, special conditions, gaming licenses, references, and federal, state, and tax compliance. I then arrange a meeting with the applicant to review all of the requested documents and conduct an interview to review the application and supporting documents to ensure all information is complete and correct. Once the investigation is complete, I prepare a report of the investigation.
Did your review of renewal applications filed by Harrah Philadelphia and its principals, principal entities, and affiliates?
Yes, I have.
Has the investigation conducted criminal history, civil litigation history, tax clearances, and other types of checks?
Yes,
Has Harrah Philadelphia Casino Racetrack personnel been cooperative during the investigation?
they've been 100% cooperative.
Is the investigation complete?
Yes, to this date it is, but it's obviously an ongoing effort through the entire process and ongoing from there.
And did the Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement discover any areas of interest during the course of the investigation?
No,
Did the Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement discover any areas of concern during the course of the investigation?
no, not at all.
Finally, did the Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement discover anything during the course of the investigation that would preclude a finding of suitability for Harrah Philadelphia Casino and Racetrack?
No.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Mr. Schreier?
Nothing from me, from Mr. Ferriolo. Thank you.
Board members? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's our presentation, Director. We would like to move OEC Exhibits 1 through 6 into the record at this time.
Mr. Schreier, any objection?
No objection.
Okay, so moved. And so that concludes our presentation portion. As Mr. Schreier pointed out, we had received one public written comment from Senator Kane, which is moved into the record and is on our board website at this time. Does anybody need a break? No. Do you need a break?
No.
Okay. Okay, so now we will move on to the public comment portion of the hearing. As I call your name, please come forward to the podium. And each speaker should begin their remarks stating and spelling your name for the record. And if you're speaking on behalf of an entity, a community group, let us know who that is. Excuse me? So you're each allotted about 5 minutes to share your comments. As you're reaching the end of your 5 minutes, I'll signal you so you know and you can wrap up. So all those who have registered to speak today or are going to speak today, if you could stand to be sworn by the court reporter.
Everyone, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief? Yes. Thank you.
And Senator Kane is here with us today, as well as having submitted written comments. So, Senator Kane.
Thank you, and I think we're still good morning. And welcome to Delco. It's good to see you. My name is Senator John Kane. I represent parts of Chester and Delaware counties, including the city of Chester, where we are now and where Harrah Philadelphia is located. I am here in strong support of the renewal of Harrah's Category 1 license to operate a slot facility. Harrah has been a part of our community here in Chester since 2007. In addition to being a great community partner, Harrah has become a critical part of the economy here in Chester. Harrah provides 900 jobs, including almost 400 union jobs, and has generated over $2 billion in taxes and fees to help fund city and government operations here in Chester and across Delaware County. Beyond that, Harrah's employees have been dedicated to our community, supporting nonprofits and organizations throughout our community. Like all of us, Harrah is coming off a difficult year and facing a new series of challenges in light of the pandemic. The Harrah's officers, directors, and employees have adapted, complying with changing regulations and helping our community recover from COVID-19. I know Harrah will continue to be an important community partner and I highly support the renewal application. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our next speaker is the Mayor of Chester, Thaddeus Kirkland.
Good morning, Madam Chair, and good morning to all the members of the PA Gaming Control Commission. Special good morning to a couple of my former colleagues. It's good to see you here as well, seeing you in Harrisburg and welcoming you here to our great community and our great city of Chester. Also to the members of the PA legislature who might be present, Senator Kane and guests, and to all of you, good morning. First of all, please allow me to welcome you all to this great city, our great city, the city of Chester, the place that I have had the pleasure of calling home all my entire life, 25 years. To begin with.
Okay. We're listening.
Secondly,
There's no win in that bet.
Secondly, I would like to thank this body for allowing me to address you concerning the relationship, the partnership, and the true friendship with Harrah's in Chester that has been nothing less than fruitful down through the years. Before being elected as mayor of this city in 2016, I had the honor of serving in the House of Representatives for some 24 years. While a member of the House of Representatives, I was genuinely concerned about the possible negative impact that a gaming facility might have on a community like ours. Genuinely concerned. I thought about out-of-control gambling, foreclosure of homes, and the breakup of families. Well, Madam Chair and members of this body, I was completely and totally wrong. Since 2008, Harrah's Casino has provided this city with an influx of $10 million plus annually to our general budget. In 2014, they contributed $2 million annually in real estate taxes to the city's economy, and they provided $1.5 million a year in earned income tax to our budget and our city. Oh, and please let me not forget the numerous jobs and career opportunities that have been created by this casino being present here in this city. And now, post-pandemic, they are looking to hire even more persons to Harrah's Casino. We as a city have been able to survive and thrive because of Harrah's Casino and the gaming industry. This is why I and my fellow colleagues on the Chester City Council support the continuance of Harrah's Casino, Racetrack, Philadelphia, though we're in Chester, here in the great city of Chester. And we hope that you move to do the very same. Thank you once again for this opportunity to address this body, and please have a great day.
Thank you. That is all of government representatives I have. Are there any other government representatives here today that believe they registered to speak and I haven't called your name? Okay. We will move on to our community groups. Our first speaker, Julie Avalos. And if I mangle your name, I apologize ahead of time.
Hello, good morning. My name is Julie Avalos. You did pretty good. It's A-V-A-L-O-S. And I stand here as the Executive Director of the Domestic Abuse Project of Delaware County and in support of Harrah's Casino. The Domestic Abuse Project of Delaware County, or as we call ourselves, DAC, is a domestic violence 501c3 nonprofit organization that serves victims of domestic violence and those impacted by domestic violence across the county, across Delaware County. We serve over 2,500 victims of domestic violence through a series of support services that we provide to residents in the county, including a shelter for women and children, staff attorneys that provide representation through the protection from abuse order process, through court accompaniment and support through both criminal and civil court process, as well as therapy, mental health, and counseling services for those traumatized by their victimization. We do this as a nonprofit on behalf of some of the most vulnerable citizens across the county across Delaware County. We could not do this without the importance of strong partnerships with entities like Harrah's. Harrah's has been a huge support to us as a nonprofit in this county. One of the things that we do that we're really proud of is we have a very large awareness efforts across the county to bring awareness about domestic violence and provide systems trainings to different entities about the importance of how to best respond to victims. And one of the systems that we work with is the police force. And Harrah's has been a huge supporter of our trainings over the last several years by providing, with no charge, space for us to use their space at the casino to train hundreds of police officers across the county on an annual basis about the importance of responding to domestic violence. In addition, their employees have done such things as donation drives for our clients, dropping off donations to us to be able to provide to those that we serve, as well as providing monetary donations to the organization. So again, as a nonprofit, we're unable to do the work and impact those that we serve without the strong community partners that we have. So we're definitely grateful for Harrah's for all that they have done and will continue to do to help to support the Domestic Abuse Project as we serve those in Delaware County. Thank you.
Thank you. Jonathan King.
Hello, good morning. My name is Jonathan Abdul Rahim King, Jonathan, capital ABDUR -RAHIM KING. Thank you, members of the Pennsylvania Gaming Commission. I am a board member of the Delaware County Literacy Council. I've been a board member for 10 years. We are happy to celebrate the 14 years now that we have had our relationship community partner with Harrah's Casino. Here at the Literacy Council, we offer free adult education services to people who want to improve their reading, writing, math, and English language skills. Our adult students have goals of getting jobs, passing the U.S. citizenship test, going to the trade school or college, and being active members in the community. And we also help people get their GEDs. Since we've been partners with Harrah for 10 years of having our event at the casino, Harrah has been a great treasure and support to our organization. We have benefited from the talented Harrah staff who has volunteered on our board of directors, starting 10 years ago by Shanette Carew. She joined our board 10 years ago, and ever since then, Harrah has been a supporting factor for us. Following her were Travis Lamb, to name a few, Nicholas Capriati, Charles O'Halloran, and I think presently we have Scott Love as our newest board member. These leaders shared their wisdom and helped us to connect with Harrah. Harrah has been generous with financial and in-kind support. We are grateful to have had our annual event there for the last 4 years, which we raised almost most of our money. This is a contribution over $25,000 saved us for hospitality costs for having it there at Harrah's. We have also received an additional $10,500 in other grants, sponsorship, gifts, basket auctions, and etc. Again, Harrah's has begun this tradition of generosity as soon as they opened in Chester by funding us with a $138,000 collaborating training program with Literacy Council, Workforce Investment Board, to help local residents and Harrah's new employees improve their skills. I know we received $5,000 last month, and we'll see if there are any updates that I don't know about to date. In the past, Harrah staffs have painted lines in our parking lot, painted classrooms, and helped us improve our street side appearance with new signs and awnings that we have out front now. On behalf of the board, as a member for 10 years, the staff, students, and tutors, I recommend that Harrah's gaming license be approved. Thank you.
Thank you. Donald Garfinkel?
Jonathan did my presentation, so.
Okay. Thank you. That is the end of my community group list. Are there any other representatives from community groups who believe they registered and I have not called your name? Seeing none, we'll move on to the individuals. Vince Del Rossi.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vince Del Rossi. It's spelled Del Rossi, D-E-L, capital R-O-S-S-I. And along with my wife Nancy and I, we've operated a business here at Union's Health Mats in Chester for the last 51 years. Harrah's has been excellent as a customer of ours as well, and has been an excellent relationship between the two parties. The key, I've heard a lot of things here, and the key that I would key on being in this city for 50 years is the employment. To bring the people of Chester a job, it's very important. You know, with our 30 employees, it's a struggle at this time, as we all know, but that's the key. And I've been here, like I said, 50 years, from the time it was Sunship until it became Harrah's, and we've been a vendor of theirs, a customer of theirs ever since. So I would strongly ask that the council renew their license and continue the good work they have been doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Edward, it looks like collision, but it, Collison. There isn't an I between the S and the L. Okay, Collison. I am.
My name is Edward Collison, C-O-L-L-I-S-O-N. I am president and owner of Hobbs & Company Incorporated. We're a local Delaware County electrical contractor. We've been at the Harrah's site since 2004. We are a signatory contractor with Local 654 IBEW. And since, as I spoke approximately 5 years ago in favor of continuing the license of Harrah's, I do so again today. We've had a great working relationship with Harrah's since we were fortunate enough to be on the initial project. Working, thank you to the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board, the opportunity to work in casinos, including Harrah's. We completed Valley Forge Casino, and we're currently working at Hollywood and Morgantown. So the opportunity for gaming in the state has increased our business greatly. So thank you.
Samuel Beagle.
Morning. My name's Sam Beagle. Beagle is B-E-E-G-L-E, and I'm the president of the Pennsylvania Harness Horsemen Association, or the PHHA. Since the last licensure renewal of Harrah's Philadelphia, the PHHA has worked hand in hand with track management to promote harness racing, even enduring a crippling pandemic. During this time, we were able to create new and innovative ways to market our product, the magnificent standardbred horse. At Harrah's Philadelphia, we race 150 days from April until December, which helps infuse not only the Harrah's slots and gaming floors, but the Philadelphia metro economy, as well as the great Philly area economics. In regard to the reason we're here and the subject of the hearing, we at the PHHA are very enthusiastic in our support of this renewal of the gaming license for the racetrack and casino.
Thank you. That is the end of my list of any registered speaker. Is there anybody here today that thought they registered as an individual? Seeing no one. Harris, do you have any closing remarks?
I do not have anything further, thank you.
Office of Enforcement Counsel?
We have nothing to add
Okay.
at this time.
If either party has a burning need to file a brief or memorandum, those are due to the board clerk by close of business Wednesday, July 7th. I don't think you will, but the opportunity is there.
We have a weekend to work on it, I guess. So.
There you go. The record will remain open until the board hears the matter at a later public board meeting. I will prepare a summary report of the events today. This report, along with the transcript and all submitted exhibits and other documents, will be submitted to the full board for its consideration, and at its convenience, we'll schedule the matter to be heard at a future public board meeting. I want to thank all of you for coming today and participating. I'd like to thank the staff here at the City of Chester as well for their cooperation in and providing the space for us today to hold this hearing. The hearing is now concluded and adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.